In terms of the share of the vote, it's the biggest I've ever scored and the biggest of any candidate since the constituency came into being. So I'm hugely pleased about that. Of course I am.
So congratulations.
Just shy of 50% of the vote.
Up against a formidable independent candidate as well.
Well, up against Claire Wright, who has fought here before and clearly has mopped up a lot of the anti-conservative vote. I mean, that's presumably where most of the Liberal Democrat vote has gone again, and probably some of the Labour vote. So yes, that's I took nothing for granted, and we fought a hard campaign.
Not a great night for the Conservatives, was it? I know getting a reputation for calling elections when they're not necessary and falling foul of the electorate.
I think the Prime Minister felt at the time that she needed a strong mandate to start the negotiations with Europe, which start in 11 days' time, and that still remains on schedule. And now whether we have that kind of majority is looking increasingly unlikely. Whether we have a majority at all, I think is probably questionable, but it is now 3 o'clock in the morning and there are plenty of results still to come through. We've seen some extraordinary results coming from Scotland for the Conservatives. We've seen some sad losses in England and Wales, I think, particularly some ministerial colleagues going as well. But it remains to be seen when the dust clears from the battlefield who is left standing and who can form a government. Because regardless of who forms the government, frankly, those negotiations have to start. And the rest of the world is watching, not least the financial markets. And the one thing the financial markets hate is instability. And the one thing this election seems to be creating is a period of instability.
Another election on the cards?
Well, I think that's unlikely. I think that we need to, we are beginning these negotiations in 11 days' time, and I'm convinced that the Prime Minister will be able to put together a sufficient government in order to carry out those negotiations, and I will be supporting it.
And in terms of East Devon, what's on your agenda to help this region in the next, however long you've got?
Yes, well, I'm hugely humbled, and I shall continue. You see, very often as the MP, you don't perhaps make public a lot of the things you do. You can't, because you're acting very often on cases for individuals, some of which are extremely sensitive. And you don't issue a press release every time you help a constituent. That would be completely wrong and just couldn't happen. So a lot of what an MP does goes unsighted, if you like. But there's some visible things I've done on education in terms of getting a new school in Ottery St Mary. What I really want to concentrate on is trying to persuade the people of Ottery St Mary to come together so we can get something like the health and wellbeing hub we've got in Budleigh Salterton opening soon in Ottery, which will give a future for that hospital. But there are plenty of other issues locally that I'm working on the whole time.
And when Exeter Deaf Academy moves into Royal College, will there be a role for somebody in the community to take part in that development there?
Well, I've said I've been very involved in that over the years, and I've said repeatedly that I'm extremely grateful to REL, who were the community company that were formed, because they frankly kept the bulldozers away from what otherwise would be, I'm sure, now a series of expensive blocks of retirement flats. It's not. It's been retained for an educational use. That's what we were promised. That's what we wanted to do. That's what we've campaigned for over the years. And I think we should be extraordinarily proud as a community that we are going to host the Deaf Academy there. It'll create jobs locally, and these are people who are vulnerable. And I think we should be very proud of that. Now, the Deaf Academy will have holidays like anything else, and I'm sure the community will therefore be able to come to some arrangement in terms of accessing some of the facilities. How that will work is not up to me, but I shall certainly be watching with an interest.
Many congratulations again.
Thank you.